Unsported is a radio show that's designed for women. Your host consists of 4 fabulous women who grew up on Long Island. Each of these women range from being newlyweds to happily married with kids to never been married to single and having a steady man. Basically, we cover all areas, and if we didn't put it on our resumes, believe us, we have been there.
We have all been friends, soulmates, and sisters through one way or another for many years. And one day we decided that when women get into their car to take their kids to daycare, buy their husbands dinner, or go party it up with their girlfriends, there is not one radio station for them to listen, bitch, or relate to. We have decided to change that.
Men have sports, Howard Stern, and the news to listen to when they're stuck on the LA in traffic. Now, ladies, we have something to listen to. Please join us at a place where we can finally say what we need to. Don't miss out, and be sure to listen to Unsported and sport what you wanna.
Girls, 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 all have something to say. Some say their emotions get in the way. Some like them big, some like them skinny. Oh, girls, who's come this way? We must unite, this is a place. You don't have to show your face. Girls, I'll be a lady of today. Say what you have to say, because rocking the airwaves is the way. Girls, will be a lady of today, and say what you have to say, because rocking the airwaves is the way. Girls, 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 girls. My God! Oh my God!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
Prepare to be astonished.
Unsported.
Hey, who knows where this wild ride is going to take us?
What are you people? On dope? Sport what you want.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Hello and welcome to Unsported. So nice to have you. Thank you. So today, thanks for coming back and taking a look at us. I'm Donna. Carolyn.
And I'm Ann.
And tonight, Unsported is going to bring you the topic, what's so great about being a woman? Hello? What's so great about being a woman? So we are going to discuss the advantages, the disadvantages, why you may love being male, or maybe you want to cross over, or maybe you just do it at night. Who knows? Call in, tell us. Okay? Type us a little message right there. You could be anonymous, but let us know all about it. And we have a very special guest tonight, Tom McCann from theexaminer.com, who will be weighing in on some of the things that we are going to say, and we will hear from him in a little bit. So please stay tuned for that. And let's open up the conversation here. So what are the benefits of being female? Like right off the bat, what are the benefits? Anybody got any?
Let's start with,
we can cry.
That's what you want to start with?
Yeah, no, but seriously, I know it's not the most, it's not the sexiest one, but let's start off small, at least for the listeners.
Let's start off small. I do like the fact that you can cry.
You can cry if people are like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I think that it's nice that you could use tears, like, to benefit you.
Yeah,
sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. If you see a guy crying, people are going to say, oh,
man up.
Wimp, man up, get it together.
I get it. I see what you're saying.
True. Like, Karen, if you were crying, I'd be like, oh my God, what's the matter?
I feel that way when people cry, but I'm not very emotional, I guess.
Carol doesn't use the crying one often.
It doesn't work very well.
So we can absolutely use the cry card.
I remember Sean tried to have me do that one time when we got pulled over on the side of the road, and we were like, he's like, just cry for the officer. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, you cry. He's like, I can't either right now. I'm like, oh, great. We're going to get a ticket.
Absolute perfect example, because if you get pulled over by a cop and a guy's crying, I think
You might get arrested.
He might give him a ticket for crying. So it could happen. Like, it definitely could happen.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And I think that
women are definitely way more emotional.
Yes.
Which is good and bad. I mean,
I
that's-
agree.
It's sometimes a little annoying.
Women are more emotional.
I like
it's
being
acceptable.
emotional.
Well, I think that it benefits us because guys are pent up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're allowed to express our emotions.
Right.
We're allowed to, and actually, you know, I have a daughter and 2 sons, and, you know, we treat them differently because one's a girl, one's a boy, and even though we shouldn't, I try to get my, you know, sons to let out their emotions and things of that nature because I don't want them to be pent up, but at the same time, you don't want them to look like babies either.
Right.
So there definitely is a thing
It's
there.
true. They need to man up at that age
Yeah.
too.
They need
and,
to
like,
man
you know,
up.
Stop being a baby. Because I've heard you say that. Don't be a baby.
Stop
don't cry.
being a baby.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
It's true. It's multitasking.
How about
Can you do that?
multitasking? You think that's a gender thing?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Oh,
I think women
might-
are way better than men
might
at
be,
multitasking.
actually.
You know, I
I think-
concur.
I think so too. I never realized that. That's the problem with my husband. Like, that's why it takes him so long to get stuff done. 'cause
One
he
at a
can't-
time.
He can't multitask.
It's one at a time.
Yeah, like I'm getting Anthony a bath, cooking dinner, feeding the dog, and probably sending some
Taking
emails
5
all at the
phone
same
calls.
time.
Sending some
Exactly.
emails.
Probably
Yeah.
painting my nails too
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to work. One thing. Go to the gym. One thing.
Right.
Paint in the shed. Don't let me do anything else. Hold everything off because I'm painting the shed. So,
I agree.
No.
I never realized that men can't multitask as well.
Yeah, good point.
No,
Do
they
you think they
definitely
believe?
don't.
Do you think they believe that? Like, would they deny
No, I think
that?
they do. No, I think they do.
Oh, you think they've
I
come
think
to
they
terms
know.
with
Know
it?
that they
I
can't
think they know.
multitask?
You
You'd
know
have
what?
to ask
I
a
maybe,
man.
yeah.
You'd
I
have
think
to ask a
Carolyn
man.
might be right.
But
yeah.
I really think they truly believe that women can multitask better. I know
Yeah.
that they think they're a lot better at a lot of other things, but I definitely
I'm
think.
teaching my son to multitask. He's said to me before, Mom, I'm multitasking.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
you're
didn't realize
changing the
that.
next
I didn't
generation.
realize that. I'm very
Maybe you just have to
excited.
start to teach them to
Yes.
use that other side of
Yeah.
the brain. Because it is true, we do use different sides of the brain, men and women. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I think that's the...
I've never
Right.
read that. You?
I started.
I read it a long time ago. It wasn't overly exciting.
And then that other book came out. What was it that you were
50 Shades of Grey.
I missed that one too.
Oh, read that one.
My whole thing was if you have a bad sex life, then you'd probably like the book.
If you, oh, you think that?
Are you a reader?
You know what?
No.
Maybe.
I don't like to read.
You know, I'm not a reader, but I did pick up the book. And for somebody who doesn't read, I got through the first and the second.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah. And I don't think I have a bad sex life, but it actually made things better. Like, I'm not normally thinking about sex during the day or anything like that. And
But now
when
you
I was
are?
reading the book,
You were.
I was like in places where I started thinking about sex, and I was like, why am I doing this?
But that's
Like,
what
you
I'm
know?
saying. Like, I do think of sex during the day.
Karen,
You would be on fire then if you should not read the book because it would probably be, you know, at
I
your
sex.
detriment.
I take pictures. I'm like, hold on. You know,
Are
like
are you sexed?
Of course.
Okay, so I think that is a both
need
genders do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so for women, I would say, if we can agree with this, you cannot go your whole life without a group shower. Concur?
We took one though.
That's what I'm saying. Women
Oh.
can take a group shower. Men don't take a group shower.
Yeah.
Don't they like the locker
can't
room
go-
and stuff?
Well, no, but they don't shower. You don't. Guys don't shower with each other.
They're not like scrubbing each other's junk.
Yeah,
No, I don't
like,
know.
they get weird. Like, you know, women don't care. Like, you know, it's like, why is that guy putting his junk near me? Like, you know, women are like, who cares? Like, yeah. It's
No, I
different
don't know. I think guys though they shoot the shit in the shower. I think they're like bull.
I think we need a man to weigh in on that. Maybe,
I'm confused by that.
maybe
last
we're
comment.
biased. It's possible.
So you
You're
think
confused?
that's great
Yeah.
being a woman because we
Group
can take a
shower
shower
with your
together?
friends?
I'm just saying, you women cannot go a whole lifetime without a group shower. That's my point.
You mean so? at
Because
some
we
point
want to
you'll-
take showers with each other, or it would just
No,
happen?
it'll just happen. It's not like a no big deal thing. Like, you know, not because we want to shower
Oh,
together.
that's what I was confused about. I wasn't sure if you make plans with your
I'm
friends and
just,
shower.
no, I'm saying it
At some
will
point.
happen. Yeah, and it's not a big deal. It's like why all women go to the bathroom together.
Right,
Why
it's not
do
a big
they
deal.
all
Yeah,
go
okay.
pee together? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
but
that kind
I
of
will
thing.
say though, from the group shower perspective, if you're with all women in like one of those straight showers with the tub, the oval tub, the person at the end gets screwed because you're not getting water.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
terrible.
That's any shower
you
together.
gotta do the rotate.
Do a lot of has this happened a lot? I mean, I know me and you showered that one time, but that's when we were in college and we were pledging. That's the only
But
time.
I'm just saying, it happens. It
Okay,
doesn't
right.
really
Has
happen
it
like
happened
that
again
for
for you?
guys.
We did a bath.
Oh, we did a bath
But it was
at a
a bachelorette
bachelorette party.
And we took, actually, we were in a tub together at some.
We did a bath.
We did, right? Remember we in that hotel? Remember? I remember you with a
See?
cigar.
Okay,
We were
yeah.
definitely in a tub together.
Okay,
at one
you're
point.
forgetting.
You're right.
You've
You're
took
right.
many
Okay,
group
I
showers.
got it. You're right.
Okay, good.
I think it was a swimming pool.
No, it turned into the jacuzzi, but we started in
Oh,
the
it did,
hotel
did,
room.
yeah.
Or you were in. You had the pearls
See?
on. I thought you were.
I had the pearls on.
You had a bottle of something with you.
Suns and pearls.
Yes, I do remember.
You had a
Those
bottle.
are
You had
college
You
pearls.
had the bottle and the cigar. You had the pearls.
Okay, so how about, let's talk about men's feet.
What?
Let's talk about men's feet. They take their shoes off, women pass out.
Oh, not my husband. My feet are worse than my husband's.
But you can't say that men's feet aren't like women's feet are not like men's feet. That is a different disadvantage of being.
No, I don't know. I
It's
think
an
you just
advantage
have.
of being a woman.
I
Your
think
feet don't
that's
smell
just
like
you
that.
and
No,
your
my
husband.
husband's feet don't smell. My feet smell worse than my husband's.
My husband's feet may not reek, but I've been around guys that have taken their shoes off.
It could be rancid.
Yeah. Have you ever been around a woman who's taken her shoe off that you're like, ugh, feet?
Well, if you have a really old pair of flip flops that got submerged in alcohol,
but that's
beer,
not just
crack.
socks.
Well, you're saying women maintain their feet a
men's
little
socks,
bit.
dirty socks.
We
Yeah.
pedicure them.
Yeah,
I got
you get
you, yes.
pedicures, your
Yes.
feet are nice, guys' feet are gross.
I got you.
Yeah,
So
that's
being
true.
a woman, you have way better feet.
That is a plus.
That's a plus. Yeah, those are some of our
We do.
advantages.
And guys are very against getting
Yes.
pedicures, a lot of them. I don't get that. It's a foot rub.
I know.
How
You
about,
look nicer.
yeah, how about you only have to pick up the check one time? Guys always really have to pick up the check.
I like
Maybe,
that. Carol,
right?
this is a great
I knew this was gonna.
I haven't been picking up the check lately. I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm
It
just.
goes both ways.
It does go both ways, but you know, guys are supposed to pick up the check, and that is an advantage to being a woman. Like, a woman can go out to a bar and not bring any money and somehow get drinks all night. If a guy goes out to a bar with no money, he's not getting any. Well, he might, but
it's more likely.
it's less likely. So that is an advantage.
But some people are really good at it. Like there's those
Yeah.
like people that are like, I'm not paying for a drink tonight, and these people are going out, so I'm gonna make sure that they're all paying for my drinks. And I always look at that. I'm like, really? You don't want to just go out and go up to the bar and get your own drink?
So wait, you've been out with people like this?
Yeah.
Like from work or whatever?
Oh,
they're like, I'm
yeah.
not paying tonight?
Oh yeah, totally.
They don't
Oh,
openly
good.
say that, but
Some of them do.
Oh yeah.
Some of them do. Some
Maybe
people
it's
are
a
like
new
that.
guy trend that we don't know about.
No, I think it's people that are cheap. That's what it comes down to.
How about this? The average number of products that a woman has in her bathroom is 437.
In the bathroom?
In the bathroom. The average, so we are the number one consumers. So we have consumer power.
We do.
That's an advantage. By far, consumer power. And actually, I read an
For
article.
what though? But that's just like products. My husband has a lot more like tools than I do. You know.
Yes. But I guarantee you, he does not have as many tools as you have products.
And I guarantee you, he doesn't have as many orgasms.
Because there you go.
Ultimately,
There you go. That's a big one.
let's get to the
that
chase.
for later.
No, just do it now.
I said tools, Carolyn. With toys,
Tools, I thought
orgasms.
tools.
Can't say tools in front of her. No, can't.
It's true.
Yeah. So what are some of the?
Wait, were you going to go off this topic already?
No.
Come on. Come
I guess
on.
not.
Seriously?
Oh, okay. We don't regret piercing our ears. Guys pierce their ears; they can regret that. Girls,
Well,
you get your ears pierced. It's
right,
never a
okay,
big
yeah.
deal.
So when we were down in Miami last week, we went into first we went into Miami just to like check the tourist attraction out. We were like, oh, let's just check it out, see how it is. And it was like people getting their tattoos. They weren't filming or anything like that, so it was what it was. Wasn't anything crazy. And I was like, oh, so piercings? Do you guys do piercings? They're like, no, but you know what? Tattoo Lou's. They're like one of the oldest guys in town. Go down there if you're looking for anything. So I'm like, all right. So my girlfriend and I, we end up make our way down. Now we've been drinking for 4 days now, so we're like, all right, we're good to go. We make our way in, and I was like, listen, do you do, and I was like, well, listen, I got nervous. I'm like, do you do labia piercing? And he's like, what? I go, labia piercing. Do you do labia piercing? I was like, all right, we're going with it. We're just going to go with this whole right now.
You didn't.
So we're talking to the guy, right? Hold on.
No,
He's
you
like,
did?
We do. Hold on. Let me pull up the pictures. He pops up all these pictures. Like, and he's like, inner, outer, the main
bedazzled.
part. I bedazzled.
You bedazzled?
But not through the main parts.
Ah!
So that's why when you were...
So we had a dinner. I can't believe that you never made this up.
No, it was good. So listen to what happened. So I go in the back. He's like wrapping everything in like mega plastic.
Did
I'm
you
like,
both? Did you get a shot
she didn't
before
do
you
it.
did this?
She didn't do it. What?
Did you ask for numbing cream?
I asked for the
anything?
smaller ring. He's like, it depends on where you're getting it. I'm like, oh.
Does it take a long time to heal? Are you all healed up? Or is it still
a little
sore?
sore sometimes when I move, you know. But so listen, so I go in
I
the
can't
back.
believe you didn't say this at dinner.
I'll
You said
see
this
what it.
now.
So listen, so they wrap everything, start sanitizing, they put the ring in, and he's like, you're sitting there, and I was like, well, what am I gonna sit in? He's
Wait,
like,
what kind of chair are you in? A normal chair?
well, that's what I said. I go, what kind of chair? He's like, it's like when you're in the GYN. I was like, really? He goes, without the
Without
stirrups.
stirrups? Oh,
No
without the
stirrups,
stirrups?
though. He goes, you just put your leg up on the desk thing over there. So I'm sitting there with my like leg up. I'm like, all right. So I'm like kind of holding. I'm like, this is exactly where I want it. And he's like, that's a good spot. I'm like, perfect. So I'm sitting there. It's off. Pants are off. He's got like the blinds down.
Did you leave your...
Well,
Oh, my God.
so you take them off completely. You know, I'm like, take it down.
No,
I'm like,
brave because I got a third hole.
well, listen, I'm like, good thing I got laser treatment before this freaking little event thing, because I was like, this looks good right now. So, because he's like, listen, these two guys have never done it before, so they're going to come in too and watch. And I'm like, oh, great. So Danielle's like,
Oh,
I'll
so
go
you
in
had
there
like
too.
learning people
I had
learning
an audience of 4 people with my legs spread across the freaking table.
while you're getting
And
bedazzled.
the guy can't get the ring off, the little ball off the ring, because it's like the little U with the balls on the side.
Right, yeah.
He's like, the balls are stuck. I'm like, your balls are stuck. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, I know. They should have tried them before they put them in the showcase or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, just get the balls unstuck. I'm sitting here now, sanitized, ready to go with the little iodine stuff. I'm like holding the sides so the sides of things don't close back up. And I'm like, all right. I'm like,
Wait, what? Just like, I know we're supposed to be talking about what's good about being a woman, but like at one point, I know you were drinking for 4 days.
But not that morning though. Not that morning. I was sober. Still.
Barbara just wrote,
Okay.
WTF, Carolyn. Ouch, you are kinky. First she had said looking great girls, but now she's
It's looking great.
WTF.
Ouch, you are kinky.
You
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And
That's what's
spontaneous.
great. It was spontaneous.
Like, were you thinking of this?
My friend was like, really? You're going to do it right now? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, has your sex life changed?
Well, it's still a little sore, but...
So you
it's,
haven't
no,
reaped
it's more like... Again, it's not true.
Are you thinking about it when you're driving? Like, oh yeah, I did that.
I would do that.
Yeah,
She's like getting her coffee.
I think I'm normal, but oh shit, I did that.
Last night I hit the wrong spot. I was like, whoa, not fully there yet. Hold on.
Okay, wait,
Ooh.
so where it's on the
Like,
piece?
if this was me...
All right, let's not
this
get
way.
too graphic.
It's
Like,
like
go
there.
ahead.
Right there. Like, if I was this way, in the vertical
Are you
smile.
going to accessorize?
Let me get some vertical smile. All right, let's move on to the disadvantages of being a woman.
Okay, someone had written that women have better clothes.
Oh, yeah,
agree.
women do have better clothes. But disadvantage, women have to pay more for clothes.
No,
That's not necessarily true.
that's not true.
Yeah, but women's
Suits,
clothes.
suits are pricey.
Suits are very pricey. 'cause
Men's
you get
suits
one.
are way more pricey than women's suits.
Right.
Men's suits are like
Yeah.
$2,000 for a
Because
suit.
guys
Women can pick
only
one up
get
for
one
$400.
No.
No, they don't.
Majority of men do not have, like, I mean, some businessmen have a lot of suits.
Okay,
but
and then they have 15 Under Armour sweatshirts.
yes,
Right.
and
They don't
those
have
are
15
$50.
cents.
Those,
Right.
yeah. But in general, women's clothes, like,
Okay.
you know, you go to Saks Fifth Avenue and you're going to pay, like, what
agree.
for a designer, you know, like this. I would say disadvantage all the way.
Yeah,
But
but
expense.
it
but you could
depends
wear, I
on the
think
man.
That you could wear, you have more options. Skirts, dresses.
Yes.
Pants,
yes,
tops.
definitely more options. Yes,
Mix
absolutely.
and match.
I
And-
agree. Women have better clothes.
Yes, absolutely. And like, if you're short, women can strap on a pair of heels, pop up.
Yeah.
Guys are kind of like, you know, if a guy's busted, he's busted.
Yeah,
he could grow a
not much-
goatee,
right,
but
that's
he's
about
busted.
it, yeah.
Like, you
And
know.
even with makeup and stuff like that, you have all
Yes,
those things
makeup,
that can
yes.
help.
Oh, look at this. Dry cleaning is more expensive for women.
Is it, Barbara?
I don't know about that.
I don't know, Michael.
Guy, he probably brings 15 shirts a
Yeah.
week. Yeah. And the suit?
Yeah, but
I know they can wear the suit longer.
a women's shirt might be more expensive than a man's shirt.
Right. Like his is probably cheap. Like he probably gets.
Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe you should wear a little shirt underneath your shirt and then you don't have to dry clean it every single time. Maybe you get 2 uses out of it.
Yeah, but you know what?
Who does
Yeah.
that though?
They get sweat pits, the
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Girls, I guess, get that too, but it's a little bit better. What, you're thinking, Ann?
Oh, I was thinking, I don't know if I should admit this, but like, so women, when you talk about like dressing and stuff and clothes and makeup and heels and can make you feel better and,
Yes.
you know. I realized the other day, I was in my office and I was walking down there with these 2 guys that like I don't really know. And they were over by the printer. This was Friday. So I walked down, I was like I guess I was in leggings and a sweater, whatever I was in.
Hope you were in that
And I
shirt
walked-
from the picture.
Hello,
booby.
More or less than this?
It was more than this. I was wearing more than this. And I walked out and I found myself like I couldn't interact with them how I normally would.
Because of yourself.
Yes, yeah.
You wanted to be like, hey, but it looked
Hey,
weird.
how you, yeah, and I
Yeah.
just didn't feel like I had the goods
You did.
to meet somebody and introduce I didn't have
I
the
know
little
what you
charm.
feel.
I didn't feel like I
Yeah.
had that like
You have
charm
different
that I-
charm.
You have different charm. You have
Not
like
attractive
a wholesome charm. You didn't have that over the cooler, hey, how you
No,
doing
I had like
charm.
no sex appeal. I felt like I couldn't shimmy up to.
Oh, it's
It
thin,
does
guys.
hamper it a little bit, yeah. But you're very sexy in
Thank
your own way, but I know exactly what you're saying. And women do feel like that, and that might be a disadvantage, I think, to women after they have babies and
Well,
everything
it's-
else.
Well, I'm saying like
There's
men can't do anything. Like if you wear like a sexy shirt and you put on your heels and you have your tight pants
Yes.
on, you feel sexy. Like I don't think men could do that. That's what I meant.
Well, I think that women have more opportunity to do that. But if a guy puts on a nice suit
I guess,
and
yeah,
some
he does,
cologne
he
or
does,
whatever,
yeah.
let's hope he feels better about himself, like, you know.
Yeah, but women have more
see, but this is a
assets to.
thing. They do. They have
That's what I mean.
way more tools in the
Yes.
toolbox
That's
to make
what I mean.
themselves look better. But like, it's funny because, you know, guys take 5 minutes to get ready, 15 minutes to get ready, and sometimes, you know, I start getting ready way before my husband, and then he's ready somehow before me. You know, I'm still going, you know. And so sometimes that's annoying, but also, too, I think that you enjoy the getting ready process.
Yeah.
And I think that guys don't really necessarily feel that. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that women do. Like, you're getting ready and you're seeing the transformation, and it starts to make you feel good before you walk out the door. Put on a little music, maybe pour
Put the
yourself
right
a glass
music
of
on that
wine,
Yes.
get your stockings on. It's like
Do
a little
you
bit
really?
of a process.
You do that? You pour yourself a glass of wine?
do.
as
I
you're
have,
standing
yeah. I
up
get
I
my
would.
mirror, I
Yeah.
got my this, and I pour myself a little glass of wine, and I start getting
I do
ready.
that
I
too.
start loosening up, and then I'm all ready. I'm out the door, and when I come back, I never look like how I did when I left, but it doesn't matter.
I feel like the first bathroom break, I don't look like the way I did
the
when
first
I
time
left.
I get in the bathroom, I was like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so.
I do that same thing. You let me out of the house like this? What did I waste all this time
I know. All of a sudden, like, you have like a zit right
Yeah.
here, and you're like, but at least you could cover it up.
That is true.
Guys can't do that. Guys cannot do that.
Someone else wrote in that women pay more for haircuts.
Oh, true.
And the dyeing.
Color,
Yeah,
dye,
that's what I mean.
color, manicure. It is definitely more expensive.
And you know, someone had told me recently that a guy, someone I know, someone's friend, like their guy friend, had said, like, you know, you always like your nails are never done. Like this is coming from a guy. Like you
Said
look.
to you?
No, someone I know, but
Oh,
it was her guy friend. But he had said, like, you know, you might not have like you always look disheveled. Your nails are never done. Like guys do notice
They
that.
appreciate
Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
If you can't maintain that, like.
Yeah.
When you got your mani-pedi, like, Rachel would be like, oh, what color did you get? You know, like,
I was surprised that guys
Glad you
notice that.
noticed.
But I guess if you're like all erect, they don't.
Yeah. My husband,
unattractive.
I remember I introduced him to a friend or whatever. We were at a carnival or something. And we walked away, and I was like, wasn't she really nice? And he was like, did you see her fingernails?
Like they
And I was like, yeah.
So you have to maintain it.
I was like,
No, it's true. You got to maintain a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to
Eyebrows.
maintain eyebrows. Although I will say that manscaping is becoming much more popular.
Yes.
As it should.
No, it definitely
Yes.
shouldn't. If you're
As
a
it
man that's
should.
out there that's not manscaping,
But under control. Those
a
eyebrows.
problem.
Like if a man does too much with the eyebrows, it really makes me nuts.
Do you know what? I agree with you, and I've seen it overdone. But imagine, like you've seen the opposite of that too.
Yes.
Guys who don't,
unibrow.
yeah, and it's just like, you're
Yes.
like, whoa, guy, like
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather see it more the other.
No, I don't
way.
like it overdone. I'd rather be more with the eyebrow situation. Men-
Underdone.
I'd rather underdone than overdone.
You would go with a unibrow over
no, like
The
Look,
man,
son.
like
man tweeze.
yeah, it's too much. With the arc, like I can't. It's
Yeah,
too
but
much.
you know that the guy did. I feel bad for men in a way because you know that the guy didn't go and tweeze it himself and pull an arc. He went and sat down
Yeah, I
with
know.
the trusted woman
I
who
agree,
made
I agree.
him
I
that
agree.
arc.
yeah,
I
but
agree.
you didn't see him
So-
before, so it could have been like
That is true.
really, really, really.
That's what I'm saying.
Like here,
That's true.
where they were like,
Yeah.
okay, and
I
like,
just
I've talked to people like that, where their eyebrows are coming at you first.
Yeah.
You know, so
I guess
yeah.
that is bad.
yeah, so yeah, but I am glad for the manscaping in all
I
areas.
agree.
Like now you see guys, they shave their arms.
See, I don't like that. The
I
chest,
like
my
it.
husband
They
wants
shave
to
their
do it.
chest
I don't like
down.
it.
I like it. I think it's very
Back
nice.
hair, I can see. Back hair,
Back.
get some rid of back hair.
yeah, little chest is alright.
I like
Arms,
chest
fine.
hair. Then you
Leg,
get the prickles.
fine.
No. But I mean, I'm not saying like totally smooth. I'm just saying like buck down.
No, buck down, but arms don't need to be.
No.
You don't need to shave
Do you ever
arms.
sit next to a guy on an airplane with really hairy arms?
Does it feel good?
You'd be like buck down.
No, if it was down there, I'd be like buck down. If his like pants are
Down
puffed,
there,
like a
yes.
super
No, but
stay
I'm
puffed
still
up.
hairy arms. Like I once was in a meeting and I was watching this guy and he had a watch on, but I don't know how he saw the time because his hair was coming over the watch.
He's probably getting caught up in there.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Just like if it would get caught in your
excessive.
tooth. But
if
no,
that was a
listen.
woman, they would be, you know, like I don't think it's fair.
Okay, but that's excessive. That's
Okay,
excessive.
I'm just saying the buck down for the guys is good.
Buck down for everybody.
If it's
to an
excessive.
extent. It doesn't need to be
Yes.
arms though. Don't
Yes,
make all
no
these guys
arms.
start shaving their arms. Like that's
I
not
don't think
good.
you need to shave your arms.
Advantage: women will never have to get circumcised,
No, but we end up. Well,
but we give birth, which is
How could you compare this to
you
your
can't compare it to
Today, oh, that's probably like a 15-minute process and they're
I know,
done. And
I
they
know.
don't remember it.
ever. But it was a
Remember it's going to be
piece.
like 48 hours.
but isn't that what's so great about being a woman?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I
it
would
is.
not. You're rolling your eyes.
Hey, I don't have nothing for pregnant. So.
I would not want to give it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it up. Like, just say
I
in.
wouldn't want my husband to be able to do. Like, I wouldn't want my husband to be the one who gave birth to my son. That would make me mad.
I know what you're saying. Because now, like, I mean, you've seen technology where they can actually give the guy hormones and they actually produce a baby.
What?
And
No, that doesn't happen.
No, it has
They're
happened.
not carrying babies.
That guy was a woman.
He passes
He
his
was
hormones
not
on to
a
somebody
woman.
else.
He
It's
was
worse.
a woman
Sperm.
who wanted to be a man.
Yeah, you're watching the weird
He
show.
had ovaries. That's right. Did
I
the man
saw-
get pregnant
It was a he she.
5 years ago?
It was on a 2020, and they
He
injected
was a woman.
him.
It was a woman trapped in a
How
man's
could
body.
he be a woman?
It was.
He
It's
was
called.
a woman. He had ovaries. He wanted to be a man. He took hormones to look more like a man.
Yeah, you didn't watch the whole show.
Years ago?
I know which one you're talking about, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Listen, we haven't
All right,
advanced
so
that
let's
much.
just-
No, men are not carrying babies.
Okay, well, let's just say they could.
No, they can't.
You need ovaries and a
Look,
uterus.
I know. Just say, look, we have an iPhone right now, and look at all the things.
What
that
do you
we
want
can
to do?
with it.
Carry a baby? You can order one on there.
You can go on Amazon
What you ordering?
right now.
I'll
and
take
get a baby.
Sperm from
My husband's part of the bride. We can get
Sperm from Jersey. Okay, it's on its way. What do you want?
Sperm from Jersey.
package.
Track it. Put it on ice.
Track that package.
Put it in a cold pack.
All
Save it for later.
All right, let's take a small break. All right, so we're going to take a small break. We'll be back in like 5. Stay with us. We got more here at Unsported, at Ravio, and we'll be back with Anne's Top 10. You have to definitely, absolutely see those for what's so great about being a woman. And then we'll also have Tom McCann from theexaminer.com.
Nice. Yay.
Yay. You vajazzled.
too sexy for my love. Too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave me.
Putting it off and start painting it up today at Ben's Paint Station, featuring Benjamin Moore Paints, Sickens, wood finishes, paints, and professional paint supplies, ideal for contractors and homeowners, stain paints and epoxies, family owned and operated, in business for over 55 years, professional and experienced help, located at 2 locations, 55B Route 25, Coram, Long Island, New York, and 1495 Plaza Montauk Highway, Mastic, New York. Call them at 775-7435 and 775-8135. Ben's Paint Station, featuring Benjamin Moore Paints. Log on to the Enravio Advertisers page today.
InRavio.com.
InRavio.com. Internet, radio, TV. InRavio.com. Broadcasting to 6.8 billion people. Streaming 24/7. InRavio.com.
InRavio.com. Welcome to the future of radio. InRavio.
Oil City Skate Park, Long Island's only indoor skate park. Skateboarding, BMX, inline skating, open 7 days a week. Nearly 150 decks by Baker, Flip, Girl, Chocolate, Real, Plan B, Crimson, Zero, Element, DGK, Bogata, and more. The best in tees, hoodies, wallets, trucks, wheels, bearings, t-shirts, hats, and DVD. New York's largest Santa Cruz dealer. Introducing Dark Skateboard, Europe's best-selling deck. Oil City Skate Park, 3565 Maple Court, Oceanside, New York. Phone 516-442-0706 or go to www.oilcitysk8.com for more info.
InRavio. Transmitter? We don't need no stinking transmitter. Welcome to InRavio.com.
Unsported, and we hope you enjoyed our first half of our show, the convo. As promised, we are going to go through Anne's fabulous top 10. So here we go. Top 10 reasons why. What?
I would rather be a woman.
Oh.
So
go ahead, take it over, Anne.
This is my top 10 reasons. Number 10. We can adjust our height.
Oh, look at that.
Right?
That's number 10. That's like the worst of your 10.
Well, what? You don't like that? I think that's
I think that is great.
Look at those heels. Those are some great heels.
They're nice.
I got to say one thing about heels, though. You know, you see some women walking that you're like,
you shouldn't be wearing heels.
yeah,
No, that's
you are
true.
right.
Take
My
it down.
husband says that
If
all
you
the
can't
time.
walk in them,
Don't wear them.
take
My
them down
husband
a
says
little
that all
bit.
that
If you
time.
look like an idiot walking, you can't be wearing
and
high.
you have to be able to do the walk.
Yeah.
Walk. That's the test.
Not the...
Yeah. If you can't do this, take them off. Take them down.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. I saw
But even if you do a little height, you don't have to go this high.
Right. But you
can,
still.
Well,
it
lately,
gives you
though,
that little lift.
Yeah.
I went out when I was out in Miami last weekend. We went out, and these girls were wearing 4-inch plus.
Ooh,
Half
platforms.
the people couldn't walk in them, and I was watching them like, these girls can't even walk.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you can't walk in, take them down to a
yeah.
3-inch heel, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you won't look like
I
an idiot
agree.
walking.
That is a very good point. That should
Yeah,
have been
it's bad.
a
They're
bullet
like
point.
walking
Yes.
like zombies. Terrible.
Okay, number 9. We can wear makeup,
We can.
which according to this picture of Brittany,
Yeah,
you
look
could
at that.
say that's very important.
Oh,
Could you
look at that.
imagine
Yeah, she looks
if
like
you could not wear makeup?
She looks
It
like
is definitely
not.
airbrushed and on heroin.
in this picture.
Yeah.
This looks beautiful.
No.
Oh, but then
the other
this one.
the
Yeah,
not.
look at the difference.
That's no
The
makeup.
difference, yeah.
That's a little rough, that picture.
She has no makeup on.
And there's more services for women too. So you could go get spot removal and all this kind of stuff.
And you can do it if you're a man if you're comfortable with yourself.
Botox, all sorts of things.
Because I've let Sean and John my compact. I've gotten them compacts as well when we're in Florida, so they don't have to shine.
Oh.
They're not shy. They have man makeup now.
Thank you.
They do have man makeup.
Man makeup?
They do. They make a man line makeup.
Stop.
Yeah, but it's
For
not
sure.
Can you please bring
it's not
that in
doing
next
this
show?
for them.
It's expensive.
It's not doing
I'll
this
never
for
use
them.
it.
It's not
Yeah,
making
no,
this
they
big
can't do
job.
that.
You'd be surprised.
The eyelashes, the whole.
Yeah.
True.
It's huge.
Yeah, it is true.
Do I look a little washed out?
Yeah.
Not having any makeup?
There's a little color. It's there.
My number 8 reason why I love being a woman is because we can carry a baby. I think that's huge.
That is big. There is definitely a bond between mother and child because when that child comes out, it's heard your heartbeat for how long, right? It knows that you're a mom, and you pay a price for it, but it's worth everything.
I mean, even now I
Worth
find
all the
myself.
China.
I find myself now, I found myself in work the other day. I'm in the elevator, and all of a sudden I was like, "Whoa, it's just me and him. Like, there's nobody else. Like, nobody else can feel that, you know, ever."
Yeah.
Okay, number 7, we can wear fancy panties.
Again,
Don't mind if I
Men
do.
can do all the time.
Men wear
Okay,
fancy
but
panties.
Hammock. Isn't that sexy?
Yeah, but if the guy came at you in a banana hammock, I mean, you'd be like, really? Maybe I should reconsider.
I mean, I'm very into men,
No,
but look at this.
I agree.
mean,
That's
come
hot.
on.
Yeah,
That's
that's hot. Even women think this is hot.
It's not so hot. Just don't wear anything.
Now, if you put a banana
That's
hammock
hot.
next to that, your eyes are still
Yeah,
going to
so
go
yes.
this way.
I'd be looking at this
Totally.
next to a banana hammock.
Yeah. That's true. And it gets expensive, though, too. Because you always have to wear the same outfit twice.
It is
See?
pricey.
And men aren't paying all that money for lingerie.
No, they're ripping it off, like, within 5 minutes.
Yeah, but
sometimes.
no, but
You're
it
like,
does
just leave it
something
on
for men.
for the...
It totally is worth the money. I think men are very turned on by lingerie. And
Absolutely.
And it takes.
Oh, we got a man weighing in.
Yeah,
Here,
it takes very little for them, you know.
Do you like it with the 5-inch heels?
I must admit I do.
Okay. See? Number 6.
Nice.
Number 6 is multiple orgasms.
OMG.
Yes.
Oh.
And yes.
And you can fake them better than a guy,
Yes.
too.
Well, that's not the good part. That I don't think is a plus.
I hope you don't have to fake
No,
But it is
I'm
pretty
just
crazy.
saying.
You know, we say that all the time, multiple orgasms. But it is pretty.
There's multiple orgasms. There's also multiple places where you have your orgasms. So we have a little more option. Than
There's more options.
A man has that one, boom, you know.
One and done.
You know.
But it's pretty unbelievable that, like, sex for a man and woman is so different like that. Like, you could have one and you're like, oh, keep it coming.
And you
He
can
like
give yourself one in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, well, maybe.
And then you're like, actually, I'll go for another one. I'll go. But he's like done.
Unless you're a 17-year-old boy.
Yes. I mean, I'm not saying men never do, but.
That's true. That's a good.
But the one disadvantage of that, I guess, is like women can kind of keep it like when men's done, they're done, and then you're kind of done too. You know what I mean? That's kind of a little unfair.
That's why he's got to start first. And
That's why you need a
second
good
and
partner.
third.
Karen's
So
like,
you know each
Karen's like, you got to take my notes, and I will train my man, and he's trained, and I
got
will
a
let you know.
commission until
Yeah.
she
She's like, I
heals.
mean, that's why. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm in commission. I just have to be careful.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5, we can bitch to our girlfriends. I think that's important.
I think it is.
Like, you
too.
can actually be mad, you could be sad, you
Yeah.
could feel frustrated, you could actually call your friend and actually talk about it. Like, guys don't do that.
No, they have to get drunk in order to talk
Right.
about
And
their
then they
feelings.
probably beat each other up.
Would you agree?
Somehow.
No, we talk to our guys a lot. Man to
do?
man. Oh, absolutely.
Is that locker room
Well,
talk?
I would say, but it's not emotional. It's not on the same emotional level. As
What do you talk about with your man?
Well,
Friends when you're
a lot
like when
besides sports.
Right.
Yeah, like sports.
You and your wife have a fight. You're like, oh, I really could call my buddy up right now. I'm really upset. And like, you don't
do
have
that?
2-hour
Yeah,
conversations.
as a matter of fact,
You do?
I've had situations where guys have come to me for hours after hours talking about, for example, a divorce. What's going on with their guy, with their wife.
Those are big things. Those I don't think I necessarily mean that. I mean more of like just stupid things. Like you have a stupid fight with your husband, you could be really frustrated. I could call you up and like complain to you about it for like 15, 20 minutes, and I just feel better. Yeah. You know, like we could gab about it and like complain about it, and I feel better. Like, I don't think men really do that. I don't think men rely on their friends for stuff like that.
The little things, probably not so much.
Yeah,
The bigger things,
yeah,
I would agree
right,
with that.
definitely, yeah. I mean more of like the little stupid things.
But you gotta have that other guy that's gonna be like, yo, listen, she just doesn't want you in the house.
I do have a question
Get
for
over
you.
it. Like,
Yeah.
you just gotta be honest. And a lot of people aren't honest when it comes to those things. They
Right,
just they dance around the conversation, and you know, if she's not talking to you, and you're not having sex after 2 years, and you're sleeping on the couch, like, get the hint. Like,
Right,
pick up and
yeah.
go. I don't know what you're still doing there.
Right, yeah.
Obviously,
No, that
it's
happens,
not working
yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, get the hint.
We do that too.
Yeah. I have a question for you, though, and I know we need to get to this, but how come a man's conversation is 90% about sports?
It depends on the man. I don't think that's true.
My husband doesn't talk about
My
sports.
wife and I seldom talk about sports. We
No,
talk
but
about
men
family.
and other men. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that exists. Like, you know, and I know some guys aren't into
Well, it's
sports
an easy
or whatever.
thing to talk about because it doesn't require any emotional involvement.
That's a good answer.
Oh,
I think
for
I
some
just
it's
figured it
not.
out.
Yeah, some it is very emotional.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Number 4. We smell better.
So true.
Very
So
true.
Women smell
Women
good.
definitely smell better
Yeah.
than men,
Yeah.
all around.
Well,
I think.
we take we get in the shower, then we use our soap, and we use our shower
Yeah.
gel.
I guess we should
If I don't
maintain.
shower for 3 days, I still smell better than my
Yeah.
husband after like one workout.
Yeah. Yeah. I think women smell
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
God,
Okay.
you started using deodorant this year.
I know.
I know.
You've never had a problem stinky. You've always
Yeah.
been.
Good like that.
Yeah. All right. Number 3. We have boobs. I mean, we got boobs.
Yeah.
Number 2. We have boobs. I mean, boobs. We got them. And I think
If you don't have them, you can still get
yeah.
them.
And I think the number 1 reason that I'd rather be a woman is because we have boobs. I mean, I'm telling you, number 1. I think it's all about the boobs. Okay, I gotta tell you, like, I've noticed recently, and I gotta tell you, all those boobs are courtesy of my second son.
Are those
Yes.
yours, Ian?
Yes, they're all mine. All the boobs are mine.
Those are yours?
That's that picture we saw.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They are all, look, I'm wearing the same dress.
Oh my God.
These are my boobs. I put the dress on purposely to prove.
Oh, that's so funny.
This was a couple months ago. They've been growing over the months.
Now, Anne's normally not this size.
No.
But pregnancy has given you some.
Yes, knockers.
We actually changed her bra for her
Yeah.
when she showed up. We were like, no, you
can't
can't.
wear that bra, I'm
Yeah,
glad.
sorry. And see, that's the one thing about girls too. Girlfriends, like they say stuff like that.
That's
Yeah.
true. And you have a third boob. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
what?
she likes
I
it.
usually
She's-
take
yeah,
my
she's
jacket
like,
off.
you
They're
gotta
undressing
change
me.
your bra. She's wearing Carolyn's bra
Yeah,
right now.
Karen's like, I
You're
got
like,
one.
no,
You gotta
sorry,
take that
man,
off.
you can't
I'm like,
wear
I
it.
haven't even gotten my coat off.
We-
No, but
we-
seriously, man, I gotta.
We got our bra off before we got our panties on.
I have to tell you, my son recently, he's 4. I was in a store, and the woman who was ringing us up was talking to him. She was a very attractive young woman. We get in the car, and my son says to me, Ma, I got to tell you something. I'm like, what? He goes, the whole time that girl was talking to me, I was staring at her boobs. I'm like, Anthony, what do you mean? He goes, well, I love boobs. And when I told my husband...
He's 4.
He's 4. And when I told my husband the story,
It's
he's like,
innate.
see? He's like, it's really in us, Ann.
Yeah,
It really is. We can't help it. And the last time I wore this dress around, I had a bra. At this point, I don't think I have. I was a little more covered.
Right.
But I was walking through the stores, and I am not kidding you. Men, the whiplash on men, and they were with other women. It was they could not
Is that
help
how you
themselves.
were wearing your dress?
No,
So,
I
it's
was
a
more
powerful
covered.
asset.
It is.
It's a powerful asset.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely gets attention.
Yes, and they can, I don't think they can help it, man. I really am
Yeah.
convinced they can't.
Yeah.
It is very powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I'm a woman and have boobs.
So good job, Anne.
Thank
on
you.
the top 10.
Thank you.
On the top 10.
Thank
All right, so Tom.
Well, I would have to say about that list, it was very inclusive.
Yes. Did I leave anything out?
Well, I think you left out the most important thing of all of being a woman, and that's being a mother.
That is true.
Yes.
I can't imagine anything greater
Yes,
than
this is
being
so
a
true.
mother.
That
This
is
so
true.
Well, it's funny because, we've talked about all these fun things about being, the differences between being a man and a woman. But I think that from a societal point of view and from like a work-life perspective, you know, there's something definitely to be said about being a mom and being a mother because, and I could use myself as an example, I was always very career-driven type of person, and now I have 3 kids, and in the last 2 years, I have kind of taken off of work for my children because I've realized kind of over time, and, you know, I make less money now and all that kind of stuff too, but I've realized that they're only small for so long. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm only going to have this little bit of time for so long, and
Absolutely.
my job as a mother is so much more important than updating. I mean, not that we want to be poor or whatever, like, you know, but like then having those extras that if I worked, then I would have.
It's the single most important job in the whole
It
world.
goes by so fast, you know, so fast. So yeah, I think that, and I think it's kind of unfair for women too in a way because, you know, we've gone through this whole thing where, you know, now it takes 2 incomes and equality and work and everything else, but I still feel that women feel the sole responsibility for parenting. You know, not that the father's not involved or anything else, but I think that women definitely feel that way because your kid has a fever and, you know, so you rush out of work. I think that women are often passed over when it comes to like promotions and things like that just because of the time you put in, not so much your how well you work.
I think that's very true. I think that's part of the whole glass ceiling concept, you know. I think that the fact that women have to take off to take care of their kids hurts them career-wise, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm hoping that that changes sometimes with like the work from home type thing because I've worked from home a lot and I think it's very possible. Maybe not for everybody, but it is very possible. But I didn't give you a proper introduction, so I know I introduced you a couple times throughout the show, but this is Tom McCann from the Examiner.com. And he's here and he's with us. Yay!
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome.
Honored.
You're enjoying yourself?
Yes, I am. It's very amusing.
It's very amusing.
For lack of a better word.
And you've
Yes.
seen amusement in your lifetime, so.
Yes. So, Tom, you read 50 Shades of Grey, this
Yes, I
woman's
did.
book.
Yes, I
Now,
did.
what made you actually go out and pick up this book as a man?
I read it because my wife read it. Excuse me. And she's a very bright lady and so accomplished in so many ways. And she was talking about this book like it was something special. So I said to myself, let me read this and see what it has to say. Plus, I'm very interested in seeing the other side. I love knowing how you women think. It's impossible for me to figure it out.
Right.
But I can't help, my curiosity is such that I'm interested in how you think. So I picked it up, and I thought I was only going to read the first book just to see what it was all about. And believe it or not, it's actually a love story. And it's a love story about a very powerful man who tries to put a woman into a subservient position. And she is intrigued with the idea. However, she's not going to be second to anything. And it's how the two of them balance their relationship. And it's actually a wonderful love story filled with a lot of sex that only 20-year-olds can participate in.
Yes. The Red Room? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean
The Red
the
Room?
frequency. You know, it's like
Yes,
3 times a day.
Yeah,
4
it got
times
a little mundane after a while. Like, you were kind of like, all right, they're having sex again. Oh, they're having sex again. A little bit, even, I think, for some of us, you know.
A lot of eye rolling and lip biting, you know.
Yes. But it was, you know what? When I read that book, I was intrigued by his power and his dominance. I mean, the sex part was good. You know, it was fun to read. It was a fun read. But, like, I was intrigued by his power that he exuded. I don't know. That to me, like, was...
And eventually, she winds up being as powerful as he is.
Is that the third book? I didn't get to that one.
Well, in the third book it is because they wound up having a couple of kids together and
Right.
they live happily ever after kind of thing. But
Right.
you know, she always struggles against his dominance.
Right,
And
yeah,
she gives into it because she enjoys that kind of sexual turn on.
Right.
But she never gives into it to the point where she's subservient to him. They're always the equal partner.
It's a lot of S&M. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't
You're
gotten-
like,
I-
whoa! Like, you know, you're turning these pages.
We actually have Jim from Santa Fe on the phone.
Oh.
Jim, welcome to Unsported. And then Rabio. Is he still on?
Jim, you're live and on the air? Maybe you're not.
Hi.
There he is. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Good. I'm a dominant gay man, and I'd like to know what your guest's opinion is of gay men or gay people.
Okay, you can't hear this, but Jim is on the line. He says that he is a dominant gay man and that he wanted to know what you thought of, did you say dominant gay people?
Just gay men in general.
Just gay men in general. What's your viewpoint on gay people?
Well, there's two different gay guys. There's the femmes and there's the regulars. I don't know what they call themselves, but so you can't categorize them all in one category.
Right. Okay.
They're like anybody else.
Yeah, that's what I say.
The femmes in particular, though, have a tendency to be a bit on the extravagant side.
And you know women love that, though.
Well, I think it's very contributing to society.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. I do too.
Well, tell him that in Santa Fe, New Mexico, we are the greater of the populace.
He says in Santa Fe, New Mexico, they are the greater of the populace. So
I lived on Fire Island.
Oh, okay, so you know all about this.
So, Jim, I don't know if you know Fire Island. I lived out there for a number of years.
Did you live in the Pines?
No.
Thanks so much for calling, Jim.
Jim, you there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, be gay, be proud, be good.
Be happy.
So great.
Whereabouts in Fire?
Yeah.
I see someone.
I was on Ocean Beach, which is primarily a family community.
Yeah.
But it's just down the road from the Pines and the Grove, and we spent many days and nights
down
there,
Yep.
having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There is a misconception though, because if you don't live in New York and you haven't been to Fire Island, and you're from another state, they're like, oh, Fire Island's all gay. Well, no, it's not. It's got different communities like anybody else does.
Right,
you know?
right,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
two gay communities predominantly, and then there's some other, but, you know, it's mixed. So, you know, if you
Right,
Beach
right.
or Park, and, you know, so, you know, it's nice
Fire
that there are a lot of
Island
the
in
different
years.
areas.
And I love the gay communities, like out in Fire Island. I definitely think it brings, like,
some flavor.
Yeah, like some culture, some, like, you know.
There's a lot of
Like,
rebuilding
you go to
going
high
on, though.
tea in Fire
Right
Island,
now.
you're, like, having fun. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
They're doing a lot of rebuilding right now.
Just Sandy?
Yeah, because of Sandy. So, like, a lot of the folks that were all the oceanfront properties, they're all getting all their permits now to rebuild their decks and, you know, get their pools put back in, and if you didn't lose your home or whatnot. So there's a lot of cleanup going on at a lot of the beaches, but hopefully, like, by mid-season, everybody will kind of get back to where they need to be and, you know,
It's
have
not
the
just
community.
Fire Island, poor Breezy Point.
Breezy Point.
Yeah.
I have a
Staten
friend of
Island.
I know, it's terrible.
It's
It's
still
terrible.
intense, unfortunately. It's terrible.
Oh, I know. I
know,
tell
I
my
saw
kids
that.
every time they don't want to eat something, I'm like, this
Yeah.
kid's freezing
Right,
outside right,
right.
now, still.
Right.
You're going to eat your broccoli.
Right, right.
You know, so.
Well, I hope it's good that,
Yeah.
like, from just, you know, I'm not there, but a lot of families stepped up and people are
Right.
helping, but it doesn't, you know, devastation's terrible.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about your article about women in combat missions and just elaborate a little bit about what you wrote about and what's going on from a, I guess you would say, a gender standpoint?
Sure. Well, I was in the military. I spent 4 years in the Coast Guard. I spent a year in Vietnam in combat, so I'm a little bit familiar with that particular aspect of the military life. I'm all for women in combat. I think it's great. I think one of the things that you guys mentioned in introducing me into your program was about the women's agenda, Long Island's Women Agenda, which originally had intended to be here.
Yes, that's correct.
And so I looked a little bit into what they were interested in. They were interested in Title IX. And Title IX is another successful program that's really fostered women for the better. And recently, I don't know if you heard just yesterday or the day before now, some of the disabled individuals are now going to be included under Title IX as well, which is another step forward, as is combat areas for women. Some of the women had brought up a lawsuit about not being able to be promoted because of being not in non-combat roles, which really could have been changed just with a memo stating that non-combat roles can be equally as important as being a general in a combat role. But they've passed this rule, and I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to shock those nations that don't believe in the same equality that America does, because we've come so far in furtherance of women and what they can do that it's going to be very, very positive. The only concern that I have about it is the physical qualities and the physical abilities in some of the more extreme programs, like, for example, the Navy SEALs.
Right.
Now, if it comes to the point where they lower the standards...
That would be terrible.
Thank you for agreeing with me.
Yeah, no, I absolutely
Unfortunately, what happens too often is someone who will not be promoted to the next level sues. And there'll be a lawsuit, and rather than fight the lawsuit, they give in, and that means a degradation in the standards. And that's unfortunate.
You know, even if you, I don't know, me personally, I mean, I am all about, I am a woman, I believe in women's rights and equality for everybody, but there are some things that should be left to women and are some things that should be left to men.
Amen.
And does that mean that a woman can't do it? No. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, but don't change the standards.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Look, physically men
are
stronger physique.
they have more testosterone.
Women
It's
out
just
there as well.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you can live up to the standard of what has previously been set
Exactly.
then have at
Then
it. Do
go
what you gotta
for it.
do.
Right. Yes.
But don't change the standard because
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I'm a little more frail and I can't do something or that's not right. I don't know.
And what kind of crazy, what kind of crazy bitches are saying they want to be on the front line?
No. Well,
Like-
no. See, I don't agree with that.
I'll go back here.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't
know. I think it's crazy.
No, I don't agree with that. I think if
Well, they should have the
ability
right.
is to do
Absolutely.
They should have the right.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are some women that will want to stand in the front line.
Yes.
They might even do a better job. There might be certain roles that women can fulfill that men could never do.
This is true.
Could you imagine a woman SEAL? She would never be suspected. She could be behind the lines, and no one ever. So if she could live up to the
standard,
requirements, then all the better.
Right. Well, it's just, I guess, like women in the police department, like how they weren't really welcome, and now they find that women have a calming effect on heightened situations, where men would tend to escalate stuff, but women have a calming effect on, like, especially like a domestic, situation where they come in or where children are involved, and so, women are used in those situations. So you're right. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. That's pretty good. So now, what are we just waiting to see what happens, I guess?
Oh, it's going to be years.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be years. This is just new off the gun yesterday or the day before. Leon Panetta just said it was going to come to pass.
Right. Interesting. So tell us why you think feminism is a joke.
I think feminism is a joke because
I need a sip.
it's not applied equally to both parties. If you're a Democrat, you're welcome to be a feminist. But if you're a Republican, for example, let me give you an example, Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin was the youngest and only female governor of Alaska. She's the mother of 5 children. She's a grandmother. She had to go through the whole turmoil of being a grandmother with her daughter out of wedlock, which was difficult.
She's a mother of kid of special needs.
She's a mother, and yes, she is.
She's got a great wank.
She's also an author. She wrote 2 books.
Yes.
One book sold 2 million copies, and yet she's been thrown under the bus by the feminists.
Yeah.
Gloria Steinem threw her under the bus. Now threw her under the bus. Bill Maher is famous for calling her a twat and the C word, and all laughing about this. And when this was brought up to the National Organization for Women, they refused to defend Sarah Palin. So until such time as the National Organization of Women stands up for Sarah Palin and Republicans of her ilk, I will always say that feminism is a joke.
Interesting.
I concur.
Thank you, Don.
I do. No, you know what? I have to say, truthfully, I've always liked Sarah Palin, and I could never understand. I mean, I know they make fun of everybody, but I could never understand why everybody was so down on her. And I was like, you know, like, I don't know. She is a successful woman. If you take her as that, like, I think she's a successful woman. She's done a lot of successful things, you know. But yeah, I think they give her a little bit of a hard time.
You saw her running the country? Look, I'm Republican, but I didn't see her.
It's not about her running the country. Maybe she wasn't the best candidate to run the country. And I'm not saying whether she was or wasn't, but I'm saying that, you know, she's not too shabby. Like, they make her out to be like, they paint her out to be like an idiot, I think, sometimes. And, you know, she's done a lot more than a lot of people. That, you know what I'm saying?
She was never going to run the country in the first place. She was only the vice president. You could put it up against Joe Biden.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right, so we're going to take a small break, and then we'll be back.
All the single ladies, 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 all the single ladies. Now put your hands up in the club, just broke up. I'm doing my own little thing. You decided to dip, and now you want a trip, 'cause another brother noticed me. I'm up on him, he up on me.
From Long Island to the world in radio.com.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Stay in tune, guitar strings. Guitar strings, bass strings, polish and accessories. Stay in tune, guitar strings. Akron, Ohio. www.sitstrings.com.
Radio.com. Broadcasting to 7.2 billion people in radio.
Good Times Magazine, New York's best entertainment paper for 43 years. Check out their calendar for all the latest music info, including New York City, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk. Studio News brings you the biggest news about the hottest artists and sounds. Technobeat is your guide to electronica, techno, house, and dubstep. Packtrack keeps you up to date on the biggest events at the area's performing arts centers and theaters. Good Times Magazine gives you all this and more. It's bi-weekly and it's free. Pick up your copy today or visit goodtimesmag.com.
In radio.com.
East End Screen Printing and Embroidery. Shirts for as low as $3 with print. 631-281-TEES. That's 631-281-TEES. 1355F Montauk Highway, Mastic, Long Island, New York. Go to eastendsilkscreenprinting.com for more info.
In radio.com.
SunriseDigitalSigns.com, providing vehicle lettering and wraps, banners, job site signs, color copies, business cards, frame signs, paper signs, magnetics, neon, embroidery, screen printing, and full color printing. SunriseDigitalSigns.com, the official sign and vehicle wrap company for Enravio.com. Call them at 631-285-7386 or log on to the Enravio advertisers page for more info.
Hanging with the cool kids at Enravio.com. Enravio.com. The future of radio is now in radio.
Oh, we're back on Enravio.
Welcome back, Unsported.
Welcome back. Yeah, I think we should continue to to take off where we left off and
Yeah.
talk about some of the other.
Yes, absolutely. So we're still here with Tom McCann from the Examiner. And if any of you have any questions for Tom, you can either type it in right in front of you, or you can give us a call. We can talk to him directly. You can talk directly. And that number is, what's the 1-800 number? I can't see it on the camera. Oh, 1-855-4 in Ravio, if you'd like to call in. And so, what?
Say what?
Say what? What? Freeze frame. So we were talking about women's. We're talking about women's issues and what are the benefits of being a man or a female. And we've invited Tom to come and weigh in on the subject as our male perspective. Thank you, Tom, for the male perspective.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And so you wrote this article about women reporters in men's sports locker rooms. And I think this involved the Jets.
Yes, it did.
Right? And that's our family team. So I'm interested to hear about that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it all came to pass. It wasn't this past season, but the season before, when a very attractive Miss Universe candidate went into the Jets locker room, and when she was in there,
she just walked in?
Well, she's has press credentials.
Oh, okay.
So she was allowed in. This all came about because women sued so that the women reporters could be allowed into the male locker rooms. Now,
Go women!
Well, it never turned around. Don't you think I would like to interview Anna Kournikova when she's taking a shower? You know, what turnaround is fair play, isn't it?
I don't know if that's fair play.
Why not?
Is it? I guess, I know. But you know what? I think that you're right. In theory, you're right. That is fair play.
In theory.
In theory. But it's kind of like the same thing about, I don't know. I think that women have a little bit more self-control.
Yeah, no. That's
Like
not fair.
in those situations.
Double standard there.
You don't think there's a double standard?
If
I
women
think
can
that,
go in, then men should be able to go in.
Exactly.
Well, she has a point because one of the problems that this female reporter reported about was the fact that the guys were calling her Bonita Chiquita. She was a Spanish lady, Bonita Chiquita, and she thought that that was a little bit out of bounds, but
Like not professional.
but
I'm sure it was
she
the
walks.
delivery,
She
too.
walks into the locker room. These guys just came off the football field with the testosterone pumping.
Right.
And,
Right.
and they're walking around, and part of my piece was about their packages.
Right.
You know, she said, that where was she going to look, you know?
Yeah.
They could have been like, oh, she's a hot piece of ass, like Chiquita, Bonito, whatever. That's not so bad.
Yes.
So wait a minute.
You know?
Their packages are out and they're
the male's
Towels,
locker room.
probably.
They were in and out of towels, sure.
Right.
They're in a locker room after a game.
I am in the wrong line of work.
The problem is would you talk about the game or would you talk about their package?
I would be so distracted. Think about I am distracted when I'm watching football. Like my husband gets mad at me because, and that's another thing. If you're a woman and you sit down and you're watching sports, you score points for that. But like football players are seriously hot. Like you don't even think, you don't need to see their faces. It's just, I mean, their bodies are in such physical condition. I mean, you can't not be in physical condition
Imagine them
and
naked.
beating. And then imagine them naked and
Yeah,
trying to
that's
write
true.
something.
Gear and padding and all that stuff.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that
She wants to be a reporter.
She wants to be a
I'm in the wrong line of work. That's what I'm saying. I would write serious articles.
I just got a message that says it's harder for a guy to interview a woman with a chub, but more sexual harassment for female reporters.
Hold on a second.
So meanwhile, a guy's gonna get
It's
a chubby
harder
from
for
seeing
a
a
guy
girl.
to
Which
interview
they,
a woman
that's got to
with
be
a chub.
I could
We
see,
won't get a chub.
Yeah, we wouldn't. Even if we're turned on, you wouldn't know.
But more.
But then women could get sexually
So that's why
harassed.
it's okay?
Yeah. Well, I think that's like the.
So wait, is
Women
he
can get
saying
sexually. I
that?
don't get that either.
He's saying that.
Well, like how they were yelling like Chiquita Bonita, whatever they were saying. So like women could probably get sexually harassed more. Female reporters would probably get sexually harassed more. But for men, if they were in the women's locker room if they had a chub, people could see where women could.
Well, I was just saying that. It's
How
hard-
could they see?
From an interview
They're
process.
not
They're
naked.
not naked when they're. Well, maybe
I don't know.
saying,
Like you're reporting and you get a chub, you can see in your
Who's
in
this
your
person?
pants.
Call in so we know exactly what your perspective is.
We don't know about the chub.
Yeah.
If a guy gets a chub standing there doing a report, you
A
can't
guy
see
gets a
it.
chub in the
his
morning.
pants?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but you
It's
could
Italian.
see it.
No, but listen, the point is, it's more likely that a guy's going to get a chub than, well, a woman's you're not going to see.
Then a woman's going to get sexually harassed.
If,
you
a man,
get it, yeah.
if a man gets turned on and he's wearing, you can't see that even if he's wearing pants.
Well, we
You
start
can, can you?
stuttering.
And you could see that sometimes in pants, can't you?
It could be.
You know, I'm an eye looker.
Depends on
I'm
how
really
big.
not a
No, but it all depends on
looker.
how big your junk is. It could be. You could totally.
In pants, I think you could be seen.
You
like
could
if
see
you get to
that
ass,
in
totally.
pants.
Yes, you can see a
That's what
boner
I'm
in
saying.
pants.
Unless your guy's got the smallest peep ever, you're not going to
That's
see
what
it.
they're saying.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying.
that it's harder for
This
a
is
male
funny,
reporter.
right?
If a male reporter was in a woman's locker room, he could get a chub.
Right, so if you're
And
a male
people could
reporter, you
see.
better have a really small peep.
And people could see.
People could see.
Move on, forget it.
Although, who's going to see? Because you're not really filming the
Guys
reporter
will
from
never
the
get
waist
sudden
down,
nipple
no?
erection.
You don't get
You're going to get a nipple
That's
erection?
really
We're
true.
talking about chums.
Donna's
All right, we have
Donna's
another
like, oh, I get a nipple erection just from seeing a hot guy.
Jack
Maybe.
from Argyle, Texas is on the phone. Hello, Jack.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good. Your guest looks like an ex-athlete. Is he an ex-athlete?
Are you an ex-athlete?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
You pegged it.
And what did you
I was
play?
a wrestler.
That's
a
what someone
wrestler.
said.
What,
I should give you-
what weight class?
What weight class were you?
Oh my goodness. I'm afraid to admit 123.
123. That's my goal weight.
We didn't know we had a celebrity, too.
Well, yeah, now we have celebrities
We
on.
do.
That's not a
All
celebrity.
right, so for how long did you play in college?
College, yes. 4 years.
What school did you play at?
I
Was he any
attended
good?
Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut.
Oh, very good.
And were you any good?
I was not as good as some on my team, but I was better than average.
Very nice.
All right, so Jack. Jack,
Yes.
you there? You still with us?
So I'm still with you.
Okay. So, did you have a question for us, or did you want to talk to us about maybe what the advantages are of being a man or a woman?
Well,
Or disadvantages?
I think being a man is better.
You think being a man is better? Tell us why.
You can
But-
pee standing up.
See,
You can pee standing up, Jack. You can pee anywhere. You never have to squat.
I was a wrestler too, but I wrestled 157 pounds.
157 pounds.
Okay. You got a 157-pound wrestler on here.
That's right.
He's out weight class too.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I outweigh him now.
Yes, well, he outweighs you now.
Did you ever worry about how you looked in your wrestling outfit?
Yeah. Holy cow, that's right. Good at.
Because in high school, some of the boys, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
those outfits did
You know
nothing.
what?
What about
Yeah.
getting a chub in
Did
that
you-
thing?
For the male physique?
Who made up the wrestling sling?
those
It
the
was
things
had to be a woman.
Was it those things that have the suspenders on its cut here?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm coming at you. I'm starving. I'm
Back
coming
and
at
cut
you.
in the front?
Uh,
Like right down here over the nipple?
yeah.
That's strange.
You have that still?
Yes, of
Throw
course.
it on.
Oh, God,
Throw it on.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it all depends. Cause
I wouldn't get in that ever.
no, because it was always like some of the high school boys, especially they're not even fully developed yet. So
Yeah.
down there you see like this little knuckle. You're like, really? You better hope you don't
How
get a
come
chubby
they
in one
never
of
let you
those
wear
outfits.
shorts or something like, or even like
I guess
spandex
maybe they
pants?
could fall down.
Well,
You're wrestling around and rolling around. You
You
want your
want
junk
least
coming
clothes
out.
as possible, right?
Yeah, so they're not pulling off, right, while you're
Yeah.
wrestling?
That's
They gotta come up with a better outfit.
Do you
for
wear a
that.
cup?
I think you
You
should
have to
find
wear
a
a cup.
contest.
Jockstrap?
Cup?
Just a
Oh, what's the
strap.
difference between a cup and a jock strap?
Well, the cup I think would be
It has hard. It's like
All
plastic.
right.
I like a football player would do
Jack, you
that.
still there?
Yeah, I think men are sensitive actually than women are.
You think men are what?
You think men what?
Are actually more sensitive than women are.
Oh, he thinks that men are actually more sensitive than women are. You know what? I think that you could be right, and I think that You're just not allowed to show it.
Right, that's what I don't think they express it as much as women do.
And then that leads to all these anger problems that you guys pent up.
Wait, men are more sensitive in what way? Emotionally?
Yeah, sensitive.
Yes.
He says yes.
Yes.
And we get
I don't know
we
about
get
that.
we get
I
angrier
think
much
we might be equally
much more
as sensitive.
quickly.
And yes.
I don't think we're more sensitive than women.
Equally sensitive?
I
Okay,
mean,
I would say
women
that.
are very, very sensitive, and they're more expressive of their emotions, whereas guys tend to bottle them in. and-
Right. That's not fair.
The one thing
that causes stress.
Yes, it does.
Maybe you guys would live longer.
Well, we're trying to work on that, you know.
Talking about sensitivity, though, well, men let things go a lot quicker, I think, than women. So,
Yes.
Like the women hold it.
Yeah.
But I had a good point, and now I just lost it. What were you saying about more? I think for men's egos are hurt a lot easier than women's.
Yes.
Like my husband gets upset about like the most ridiculous
Ridiculous
thing.
things.
Like someone could like cut him off or like do something silly, and I'm like, why do you
Or
care?
he says something,
Yeah,
like, why do you care?
Why does that like their
I think
egos
women
are?
kind of-
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you said
Yeah.
something about me. I don't know.
I would agree.
Are you kidding? Women.
Depends on
they
the woman.
catty, they talk about, oh my God.
Cat fight! Cat fight!
No, I don't. Not my friends or people that I know, but like randoms. I don't know. I feel like my ego. It takes a lot more to
Even
bother
women
my
in a
neighbor.
bar, they can upset one another.
They can
Slightly, you know.
I think
Slightly
men
upset
much
one.
quicker or much easier
Well,
for men.
it depends.
Men in bars,
Yeah, men
you
in
can
bars,
look.
it's
You
like
can look
beer
past.
bottles
Yeah,
and-
you look past him wrong.
Oh, okay.
And you could not even look at like two men could not even be looking at each other. The other guy could be looking at, and they could break out into a fight over something.
No, they're fighting over something. It's not over nothing.
I've seen my husband get into like battles. I've seen men get in battles. They don't even know each other over stupid stuff.
Well, there's a
True.
reason, though.
That's
probably.
true.
There's gotta
Yeah,
be something.
they made up in their head or whatever, like some stupid reason.
Right.
Okay, we have Barbara on the phone. Babs.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, Babs.
Barbara.
How are you?
Oh, I
feeling?
missed you. You're doing a great job.
We're doing
and
a great
Tom,
job. Do
thanks
we
for
look
coming
good?
on today.
Do you look good? Do you like my hair? How's Tom look?
Hey, Carolyn, we got to talk about this later in private.
There's a long
Sorry
answer.
about Carolyn.
She was talking about Carolyn's vajazzling.
My vajazzling.
We're not over it. Yeah.
That was quite an interesting conversation.
Glad you saved it for the show, though. So Barbara's one of the Unsported cast members that's home sick with the flu.
Hugging the
So-
porcelain guy.
Feel better, Barbara.
Yeah, so Barbara, we miss
so
you.
much,
Wash your
Tom.
hands.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been doing. And listen, I see you guys are talking some great topics tonight about women and, especially with the military and stuff. I don't know if you know, but there's just been some, some chatter about, a lot of rape coming to surface for women in the military that have, kept their mouth shut. And, now they're kind of coming forward because they weren't getting, a real trial that they needed.
Yes.
So, so definitely some good topics tonight. And,
All right, well, let me
Go
bring
get
this
'em,
to
girl.
Tom, because he doesn't have an earpiece, so he can't hear.
Oh.
So what Barbara was saying is that there's been some chatter and stuff going on where when you were talking about women in the military, that women in the military get raped. And they've come forward and saying we're not getting fair trials because, a lot of things are hush-hush, it's all boys club, that kind of stuff too. So, good point, Barb. There's definitely some disadvantages.
I'll have to
Yeah.
look into that, to be honest with you. I am totally in the dark about that. I'm sure that that's probably true. I do know that there are the old boys club where we do have a tendency to push things to the back and cover up. But to be honest with you, Barbara, I have no information about that.
Are you going to write your next article about that?
I will. I will look into that.
Look into
I
that,
don't
yeah.
know if it'll be the
We've
next one.
given you some
Juice.
material.
How long have you been writing?
No more writer's block.
You should write about what crazy things people do in the military.
Is there a tape of this show that I can review
Yes,
back?
you could go back and look and click on so you see yourself. Yes.
How long have you been writing for exam?
3 years. This March will be 3 years.
Nice.
I write a column or two a week.
Yeah? And how'd you get into that?
I like to write. I've been writing probably for about 50 years, and I just can't help myself. So, and
You have an opinion?
Well,
Passion for it?
I was actually a JFK Democrat up until 9/11, and after 9/11, I realized that the hippy-dippy peace and love ways really wasn't
Really? That's very interesting.
real. It wasn't, you know, and I've become a independent with mostly conservative values.
Huh, look at that. Was it really 9/11, or do you think that
9/11.
9/11, it was what did it for you? Yeah. You know, I think a lot of people were changed by, well, I think that's a general statement, but everybody was changed by 9/11. A lot of people made, you know, either joined the military or did something, and everybody wanted to contribute. And I think that in general, even like Sandy and Katrina, I think that people try to really come together for the greater good, particularly Americans. When they need to, you
I
know,
hope
to
so.
band together, I
It's
think
a
that
very
they do.
divisive time right now.
It
in
is, though.
politics.
That
It's very
absolutely,
divisive.
absolutely, yeah,
And I hope that we can come to some kind of agreement. But,
yeah. We
I'm
even
not
see that in the
positive about that.
presidencies, you know,
Yep.
the last election.
You're
So-
not positive about that? You're not feeling positive about it?
No, I'm not. I see a big divide still.
Yeah. Barb, you still with us?
Oh, I'm listening, girls.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, there's definitely a huge divide. Absolutely. And
It's scary.
It's kind of
I don't
scary.
wanna
It's
get into
scary
it.
for our children. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely scary for our children. I feel that way. Like, I think to myself, like, what kind of world are they going to be in or left with? I mean, it's so weird, too, because there's so many great things. Like technology has never been at its finest. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what you can do from, like, a technology standpoint and just computers and, like,
Oh, it's fabulous.
you know, I see my son, like, on an iPod and the things that he does. And it was funny, there was a 2020 last week, and they were saying they had some people from Apple come on, and they were saying that, you know, we probably will see this in our lifetime, but your phone won't even have a face anymore. Like, you'll just talk like how they're Siri or whatever. Like, and the way things are getting smaller and smaller, you won't be able to do it. It'll do so many things that you'll just talk to your device. So you'll talk to your device all the time, and they're saying that you're actually going to get to a point where, and we laugh at it right now, where you can order a pizza and then it'll just show up. Like, almost like through a printer, they were saying. And I don't think, like, the printer is actually going to, but, like, they were saying, like, it'll be at that point where you can actually order a pizza from your phone and it'll just show up, like, through, like, a printing device.
I think
I swear to you, it's on TV. You can,
I think what they're trying to get to, no, what they're trying to get to is at your fingertips. Basically, you'll be able to get it. It'll be quick. It'll be easy.
How are
You're
they
not
gonna
gonna
get
get
a
a
sauce
fresh
and the
pizza.
pepperoni
Listen to me.
through?
We're not.
Argue with those people. I'm just telling you. I'm just reporting the news. Like, you know what I mean? Don't kill the messenger.
What news are you reporting?
What do they, like, break down the pepperoni and molecules and put it through wires?
They were going to do it. They said it was
That does
going to
not
be
make any
toxic.
It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with that box.
Yeah, exactly. They put all that together on the other side of your pizza printer.
Or like the what was that?
Like Heroes
Barbara,
and
will you
Sally's?
please pull this up? Not the Jeffersons. What was that one with the robot?
Are you there still?
I'm here, but I don't want to talk over you guys.
The Jetsons,
That's what we're
Listen to me.
in.
Pull up.
Just
Just like
like
we're
we're
going
gonna
to
be
send it
flying
to
to
us.
work.
There's a 2020 where they said it was like last week, and they said that you
The
could.
talking to your phone, I could see. And maybe saying, I'd like to order a pizza, and they deliver it to your house.
No, they said delivery. They specifically said that there's
Just
they're
pizza,
gonna-
or, like,
these
could you
people are
order,
gonna
like,
be
a
out
Hero
of
too?
jobs. That these people, the people that are going to be out of jobs.
Could I order a Hero too, or just pizza?
I don't know. They just talked about pizza. Maybe you will be able to order a Hero. Maybe.
I love my
You
meatball
could-
parm.
You know, I don't know. Maybe you could
Instead
mail
of a
order
printer.
bride through a printer. I don't know. But we didn't think the internet was possible.
No, it's not
This is a
possible.
little different. You're not going to get a
I think
virtual
we're talking to
pizza
Jetsons,
delivered
people.
that you can eat.
I think that Barbara says, she said, I think she's thinking about the Jetsons.
She said, I'm the Jetsons. Next time we're back at the show, I'm going to
Have some research
I'm
on
going to
that.
have some research on this, and I'm going to talk back about this topic because I did not make this up. And it may not happen. When I saw it, I was kind of like, come on, like that too. But I swear to you, that is what they reported. Even the reporters are like, I have enough problems being on a diet. I don't want a pizza just appearing.
Sometimes what people say isn't really what they mean. It means like other things.
Facetious.
I wasn't facetious.
Like
I'm
I'm gonna flip my lid, I'm not gonna like be flipping.
Right.
You know.
But I think we should also have a contest of. I want people to design a new wrestling sling, and the best wrestling sling will show. right? See if people will come and design one, and then we'll pick the best one. I think we should have that.
Well, I'm not wearing it.
You will wear the winners. Donna's going to wear it.
I don't even know if
What's
I
so
can make
great
that look
about
good.
being a woman?
I can't. That's a disadvantage. That is a disadvantage.
Booms, booms,
You send one in, Donna will wear it.
So what, did we cover everything here? Oh no, we didn't talk about religious freedom and contraception. Yes. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
This all comes from, I don't know if you guys remember the Sandra Fluke performance, if I could call it that, in front of Congress about her troubles with Georgetown University because Georgetown University refused, it's a Catholic university run by Jesuits, and they refused to provide free contraception for the co-eds, and she made a big deal of it in front of Nancy Pelosi's committee, and it's still a big deal because with the passage of Obamacare, one of the tenets of Obamacare states that the Catholic Church will have to provide contraception for all of its students and people that work for it in the university hospitals and colleges. So it's a problem because the Catholic Church says that contraception is against its religion. So what do you do? How do you resolve this situation?
Can I say one thing? And maybe I am just not up on things or whatever. Maybe this is a bit, but you know, you're gonna have sex. Why do I need Obama giving me a rubber? Like,
Well, some
I
people
mean,
have means and methods to get them.
Yes,
so
they do.
come on.
Rubber costs 50 cents.
You go to school, you get a rubber.
Condoms are really expensive.
You don't need the president to give you a rubber.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like I don't get
I'm not
that.
saying he has to. I'm just saying if it's a means and method that's going to help reduce the amount of pregnancies because you're going to church every month and there's one there for you to take, then have it.
I don't know if they should be passing out at church.
Why should the church have to pay for it?
Why should I pay for anybody's health care?
Exactly.
Why is that?
Exactly.
But I mean, it's so stupid. Giving out condoms, I think, is great. I mean, I think that's
too. I think at a
part of
school,
the plan. Go to Planned Parenthood. Go
so
to
what they're
whatever.
saying,
Exactly.
Yeah, like I think they could give it out at like so they don't want to give it out at the university. The Catholic
They don't want to pay
universities.
for it.
They don't want to pay for it.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't want to. Nobody wants it. If you don't want an unwanted pregnancy, go get yourself a condom.
Yeah.
You didn't. It's not. If Obama gives you a condom, it's not going to be like, you know, oh, we're in the heat of the moment. I don't have a condom. I'm going to do it or not. But if Obama gives me one, then I'm going to have it. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's going to
Like,
have to be a lot of places at
do
the
you know
same
what I
time.
mean? Like, just it doesn't need to be that. Other resources need to be in other places. If you ask
Well,
me.
it's
I think
the
that
problem with mixing religion
resources can be
faith
there
as
for it.
usual.
I mean,
Say that again, Barb.
It's the problem we have is, you know, everybody's, you know, we constantly, the government gets involved with the religious and state. It always should be separate.
Yeah. She's
And it's
saying
just not.
separation of church and state. Yeah.
Church and state,
Yeah, separation of church.
I
So
think
she
it's
agrees with me?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I agree with you as well, but I think that if the church wanted to provide them, I think that that's okay.
Yeah,
Some
isn't it
churches
great
do
to-
provide them.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine
okay.
too.
I don't think they should have to be mandated to.
No, they
though.
are
They
being.
should do whatever they want.
That's the big
That's-
argument that's
right.
coming up. As a matter of fact, in the past election, this whole war on women was a fabrication by the left. It wasn't a war on women. They manufactured a war on women because they didn't want to address the problem of religious freedom, or I should say religious intolerance, where companies, there's a company called Jolly Hobby, which does not want to have to provide, it's a company-owned business, thousands of employees, they're Christian, and they don't want to provide condoms, free condoms, or birth control for their employees because they're Christian. And yet Obamacare is forcing them to do so. So we have a problem,
Okay.
religious intolerance.
Right. Okay, I say that. Yeah. But still, I still think that, you know, there's other problems. Like, you know what I'm saying? That we should be solving instead of free condoms. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I know that, I see where it comes in and I understand why, but I just feel like, you know, it should kind of be up to the individual to protect
Amen.
themselves.
Amen.
Like,
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Institution should they?
What happened to taking
Yeah.
responsibility for your own actions?
Exactly. Like, take responsibility. Like, the person on, that has 7 kids on welfare, whether I give them a condom or not, they're probably going to get pregnant. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just is, they need to be responsible for their own actions. It's the same thing about, like, that person that keeps
But I
making
think what
the
the
same
problem
mistake.
is that you're saying that someone's telling them that they have to and they don't want to. Like, that's what the
It goes
issue
against some of
is,
their
too.
principle,
Right.
maybe.
Like, that it's against religion. Like, there's
Right.
someone's
Yeah,
coming
no,
in,
I
Obama's coming and
understand
saying,
that.
you have to, and it's against their religion.
Yeah.
That's the fact,
Yeah, and they're doing it anyway.
Yes, they are.
I just wonder if Obama's doing this to any other religious sector.
Barbara says she wonders if Obama's doing this to any other religious sector.
It'll be interesting to see if the Muslims raise their heads about their particular religious beliefs,
Yeah.
whether or not the government will have the cojones to address that problem.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So let's go back to boobs again.
Enough about condoms. More about boobs. So funny. How does Anne's boobs look?
Woohoo! Looking good.
Looking good, Annie.
That's all I got left. It's my only asset these
Yes.
days.
They'll be reduced in a couple of months.
Yeah, and you got good knockers.
Right? I know.
Yeah, good knockers.
They're ginormous.
Very, very good.
Even my son had said to me, he goes, Ma, your boobs. I'm like, I know.
I know. It's crazy.
I was going to stop when the Donna was already on the way to my house, and so were you. I was going to stop at like a store and pick up a few things for you guys to try out, like as women.
Oh, yeah?
We always, as women, I feel it's more acceptable. I don't know, maybe it's not more acceptable to go to a sex store and pick up toys and,
Yeah.
than man, because you look at, you're going to use a
agree.
penis pump.
Right.
No, we're going to use.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
I got
yeah.
this great little vibrator.
Yeah,
That
is definitely a
You're
benefit
like,
of being a
penis
woman.
pump? Why do you need that? Like
the guy walking out with a blow-up doll. You're like, pervert!
that guy. Ew, he's going to stick
Forget your penis pump.
You're going to stick it in that? I've seen those blow-up dolls before,
And we're like, oh, look at this.
Did you try it? It's great. It's so sweet.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
so
try those
sweet.
nipple clamps? They're pretty cool.
Yeah, look at the feathers.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you could totally, and a guy could buy that for you. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could buy a blow-up. Could you imagine buying your husband like a blow-up doll? Here you go.
See this? How about it?
Here's your personal effects. Right? Right?
You keep being naughty, this is what you're going to get.
Well, I think it's like the same thing. Like, maybe there are double standards. Do you know what I'm saying? There definitely are double
You should
standards.
walk into an adult shop. There's no double standard there. Just do you have the courage to do it?
This
Well,
is
I
true,
think
but
more women than men. I feel like I see more women buying. If I go into the store because I have the courage to go, and I spend so many times. I think it all started from bachelorette parties. So I was the buyer of everything. So I was
Yes.
like, Ebert, you go to the store. I'm like, I'm in. I'll go. I'll get a little something for me. A little something for the bachelorette party. So I guess I got used to going in at that point. Then I was comfortable with my sexuality anyway. So I was like, whatever. I'm gonna get off on whatever I can get off on. So I was like, I'm gonna go in there. So I was single forever. So, but I would always be like, figuring out what I want to pick out, and the guy would always be like picking out like a video. I'm like, yeah, that's what you're
yes,
doing.
yeah.
You're
They're in the video section.
You're coming here for video?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's so good or something.
But you know the thing, like, there's a whole internet for that.
And then you see the
They
younger
need to come out.
boys. The younger boys go in there and they're like looking and they're like, what
Do you think maybe that has something to do with the fact that there's probably not that many toys for men? Like, I think there's just like a ton. It's more of a market
Yeah,
for
it's definitely a
women.
women's market for sure.
For the singles, like using it on yourself, there's more of a women's market, but for using together, there's a decent sized market for men and women.
A couples market.
I think it is
couples
easier
market.
for
Yeah.
women to go in and
Cock
purchase
rings,
than men.
cock
Yes.
slings, vibrating this way, that
But
way.
see, now
anal
that's
toys.
part. Yeah.
I know guys are like, no, that's the anal toy.
Tom, what'd you sign up for, man?
He's like, I think my segment's done here.
Do they get those in the military?
Although I feel like we're in the locker room.
I'm like, can I bring my vibrator to the
Tom's so
military?
glad he came.
I don't need any makeup. I'm dressed.
But all right, so let's talk about double standards then. So how come, a guy can go out and he can, if he goes and he hooks up, he's like a stud. You know, if a girl, a stud, you know, if a girl goes out and hooks up, she's a dirty stay-out.
A slut.
You know, yes, not so nice. You know.
Is that still true today?
It is.
Is that still going on today?
It absolutely exists. Absolutely. We're just out of the scene. You know what I mean?
I think women are having sex way more openly and frequently these days.
With men and women, like the younger girls are doing both.
Yes.
Okay, but I'll put it in perspective.
I agree. I know what you're saying. It's not. It's more
Imagine-
dirty for a woman to be having multiple partners as opposed to a man.
Okay, yeah. And imagine Anthony grows up or whatever.
Please, can we not?
And then the girl comes over and you know. Like, do you know
you
what I'm saying?
know.
You know she ain't poly purebred. And she's like, hi, is Anthony there? What are you going to say? She's not, so we do it too. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a stigma. Like, you're going to say, she's not a nice girl and you're not, you know, like the whole thing.
Oh, but, well, then what about
Just is what it is.
What
Double
about,
standard.
What about this, though? A guy thinks a girl's a slut if she's with a guy, but if a girl's with a girl, and another girl, and another girl, and another girl, oh, that's hot.
True.
Yes.
And that's not dirty.
True.
Yes, that is a double standard. But I think there's a good reason for that. Women are, all those top 10 that Anne got to, you know, they smell better, they look better,
They
the
feel
boobs,
better.
They're, you know. You know, as good looking as a guy is, women are better to look at. So I think when you take two women and you're looking at them, it's even
And women
more
are just more
pleasing.
sensual, and they're not as
Yeah.
animalistic. Just more, and they're not as animalistic as
There's
like,
not, yeah, they're not
Yes.
as barbaric.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know.
That's true.
And they landscape.
Yeah.
They landscape.
Well,
so
no.
it is a double landscape.
Manscape.
It's a manscape. Yeah, it wasn't very popular for a long time. It's like recently a growing trend, I think, with like
men.
This, yeah.
Metrosexuals?
Metrosexuals, yeah. And I think that it's unfair for men in that way too. Because you'll meet a guy and just because he does certain things, people might take him as gay. And he's not gay. He just, you know, yeah, like, you know, if you're not a good athlete and you're a guy, you know, it's like your life is over. If you're a girl and you're not a good athlete, it really doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, to most guys. I'm not saying that that's the way it should be, but a lot of guys.
I have no idea what
I
you're
don't
talking
agree
about.
with that at all.
I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell
I
she's
don't
talking
agree with
about.
that.
If you're autistic,
You're
a musician.
exactly.
Yes.
You're stereotyping that you have to be manly to play. You're manly if you play sports.
I think, I'm not stereotyping. I think other
just
people,
did.
a lot of people stereotype
I don't
that.
agree with that.
And
I
I
don't
don't
know what
agree
you're
with it
talking about.
either. But
That if they manscape, that they're not good at sports. What? You lost me.
no, what I'm saying is,
She jumped.
Yeah.
I did jump. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, though, a lot of times, like if you're not a good athlete and you're a man, it's looked more frowned upon than if you're a woman.
And I was saying that I don't necessarily agree with that because if you're just a man that's not a good athlete, maybe you are very good at other things. Again, musician.
Yes, yeah.
Or, you know, maybe you do other things that
Right,
maybe,
but that's like women.
So
Like
why-
I mean, women.
Women don't have that.
There's nothing
Pressure.
like sports
Yeah, like
for
there's a-
women. Like,
yeah.
is there something for women though that?
I mean, there are women, great women in sports.
No,
and
I'm
I
not
think
saying
it's
that, but is there
definitely-
something that's comparable for women?
that's like sports for men?
Yeah.
No.
That's what you're saying.
No,
That's
it's
your
sports for
point.
women.
You know, but I'm just saying, like sports are a bigger deal for men.
Yeah.
So if you're not good, if you're a man, you're not good at
But it
sports.
all
It's probably.
depends on where you're
Yeah,
at,
no, I'm
though.
not saying that
Like,
women aren't good
you
at sports
go
or
into your
women.
high school, I felt like sports for women were just as important for sports for men. Like I played sports throughout high school.
Yeah.
But that's what I did, right?
Right.
So, but
I think you were a small majority.
Yeah. Most women.
And it's taken on
A majority
bigger
of it-
role now, but I think than when we were. You know,
I
like
don't think I was just a small piece though, because everybody. I guess I had friends that were in
Right.
sports, but there was a lot of teams. You know, when you're in high school and
I
you
never
like
played on a sport
sports.
in high school, and I think that it would be less likely for a girl to say to me, "Oh, you don't play any sports,"
exactly
as to a guy who didn't play any
Exactly,
sports.
that's my point.
Which
It's
I
a
get.
little bit more pressure.
I agree. Not totally, and I'm not saying
Yeah,
all.
and I'm not saying it's right.
I'm not saying that it's less important for women
Right.
on sports or anything like that, but I think a majority of men are involved in sports, and it would suck more for them if they weren't good
Exactly.
at a
It
sport.
would
So I think
suck.
it's more expected.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's more expected for men.
You guys compete on the beauty level, though. You know, you always have to be more pretty
Exactly.
girl next door.
I guess.
And
Yes.
You don't really have to compete on that.
Oh, you found one. Yes. Yeah. You don't have to compete on that
Yeah.
level. Where girls definitely.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Usually we can't. They can't. Men can't compete
Oh,
on
because
that.
you can't? Okay. Okay, so let's just round table. Favorite female? Most admired female?
Oh, my wife by far.
Oh, I love it.
And her name is Donna.
It's not even a question. It's a matter of appreciation.
How long you married?
We've been married for 13 years. We've been together for 14 years.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
She used to work for me when I was in the restaurant business, and she was much too young for me back then.
Ah. What's the age difference?
Women in the workplace.
12 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I'm very. My husband's 8.5 years older than me, and we're married for almost the same length of time. So I know how you feel. Except sometimes I don't admire him as much. Just kidding. Okay. So we have, but that's very nice. That was very nice. Okay, so Brian from Florida, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi, Brian. How's it going?
Hi.
How's it going? Do you have a question for us?
Yes. I was, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I agree with you about the sports meaning, yes, sports means so much more to a man than a woman, like you were saying. And I agree with that, but
He's saying that sports definitely means more for men, and he absolutely agrees with it. And go on.
and this is why Title IX has to be changed a little.
And this is why
because
Title
there's-
IX needs to be changed a little.
Because there's equal amount of money for women's sports as men's sports in college, and I would think that Tom would understand that wrestling has been taken away from 50% of the universities and colleges because there is not a women's sport that will equal that for funding.
Okay, yes.
Baseball and softball and soccer is played by both. Basketball is played by both.
Right.
But women don't wrestle, so money is taken away from wrestling, and we've lost 50% of the colleges, wrestling at universities and colleges, because of Title IX.
Yes, he's saying that we've lost. Yeah, we should have given it to him. He's saying that Tom can't hear you. We don't have him mic'd up.
No.
Sorry, but he was saying that. I'm not going to explain this as well as he did, but he's saying that's why we need Title IX because there's not enough. Like he's saying that wrestling was taken away because there's not enough women, not enough funding in wrestling and things of that nature. So, do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, that's very true. And as a wrestler, I know for a fact that the wrestling program has suffered greatly because of Title IX. And now that the disabled individuals are going to be competing as well for the same pool of money, there's going to be less money for men and women, as all three departments divide up that kind of money. But I was taken by the success of our Olympic female team. And if I could just bear with me just for a real second here and just read you off what we did. To dramatize how successful our women were in the last Olympics, only 2 countries won as many gold medals as the United States women. China won 38, while Great Britain won 29, tying the women's team. Of the 104 Olympic medals won by Team USA, the United States women won 58, more than any of the other 200 nations, except those 3. So there's an example of how great Title IX really is and what it has accomplished for America. And as a wrestler, I mean, I know that my sport has suffered. And I'm sure there's going to be some other programs that are going to suffer in the future as well. But overall, for the strength of America and for the strength of humanity, really, I think it's only positive when men and women are on the same equal playing field.
Yeah. So more women should wrestle.
I don't know if we might get a
What? Yeah, then we have a whole other problem. All right, Brian, thanks so much for calling in. Please tune in and see us again. We hope you enjoy it.
He said good
Thank
answer,
you so
Tom.
much. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that we have Yo Gabba Gabba at the Paramount Theater in Huntington, Long Island, New York, Wednesday and Thursday, January 30th and 31st at 3 p.m. And Enravio wants to send you to the show. So please give us a call now at 855-4-ENRAVIO. First caller wins. Go to theparamount.com to get tickets for this and other cool shows.
Yep, that's 1-855. Did you say the number? 1-855-4-INRAVIO. And call in.
Yes, call in. Be the first one to call. Get some Yo Gabba Gabba tickets. Come on.
What is Yo Gabba Gabba?
Children's.
It's
It's
like
a funky green thing and
yeah,
a red
and
thing.
like the
and
kids love it. It's and they sing a lot of cool songs. There's a lot of. It's actually pretty fun for adults to watch too. Like you watch Sesame Street, and sometimes it's entertaining for.
iCarly?
Oh, you know about iCarly? Okay, yes, okay. So
I don't know iCarly.
iCarly's a little bit above your son. That's like the next thing. It's like a Saturday.
Right.
But
she's a little slutty.
Yeah,
She is?
They make out on TV on
Yeah.
iCarly.
They make
yeah,
out?
yes, on the
I've
Disney.
never seen that.
It's a
They
little,
kiss.
oh, you missed that episode.
They kiss.
I'm
Like
not
I didn't
watching
let
that
them.
anymore.
I didn't let
It's
them
hardcore.
watch
You gotta-
iCarly for a
I
little
wonder
while.
where my son
It's
gets
G+
all this
rated.
stuff from.
Yeah, iCarly. iCarly. Like they
Make
kiss.
out?
Yeah, they kiss.
Like heads back and forth, maybe?
It's not like daytime soap opera.
No,
but
but
it's
they do.
still.
And
like,
they talk
open
back.
mouth.
They
It's-
talk back a little. Like
Open
you get-
mouth? Open mouth. Kissing.
No, it's not like that. But it's when
They
your
linger?
Kids watch, it's alluded. Very
Like
alluded.
your son is
A
kissing
little too
people.
much.
Yeah.
It's probably because
He's gonna be like, oh, she's kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Yo Gabba Gabba is a great show. It's got
There's no
Muno
kissing on Yo Gabba
and
Gabba.
Fufa and these things. It's on
1, 2, 3, right?
1, 2, 3, Nick Jr.
Yeah.
Nick Jr. And it's super fun. And like they tell you, they have fun songs. And Jack Black.
Yes.
He's often a guest on the Yo Gabba Gabba show. They usually have like a celebrity spot and they dance like rappers. And then I think the guy, do you remember Devo? The band? Yes.
Yes.
So he's on it and he always draws something fun for the kids and everything else. It's a fun show.
If you have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
grandkids.
I actually have kids. I don't think
Or
that's
grandkids.
That's
You don't
funny.
think does he watch Yo Gabba Gabba?
I think so, yeah, because he talks about it. I've seen them on, but I don't watch it.
Yeah. It's they got catchy tunes. It's good.
What age group would you say?
Between I would say like between 3 and 7.
Yeah.
I would say like between 3 and 7.
Maybe 6, 3, 6.
Yeah, 3 to 6, whatever. Kind of like that. So fun. We're still waiting for that call. Come on, call in. 855-4-ENRAVIO. Get your Yo Gabba Gabba tickets. Okay, so we were going around. We only have a couple minutes left. And you said your wife is your most admired woman, which, smart man.
Well, it's not even
Happy
being
wife,
studied.
happy
Yeah,
life.
Absolutely.
You've trained him so well, right? How about you, Carolyn?
I don't know. I'll pass.
Think about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so how about man, most admired man?
Again, I pass.
You passed?
Yeah.
How about you, Ann?
Mine's silly after the mom. I mean, the wife thing. I was going to say my mom. My mom I admire a lot.
Okay.
But I guess out in a celebrity kind of
Yeah, that's
world.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Women in history are like very cool. But I really think the one person who came to my mind was Madonna.
Really?
I really admire her. I think that she really pushed her creativity lines a lot, but she never became a train wreck. Like these kids today are just train wrecks.
Yeah.
Like
I'll
a
give
Lindsay
you that.
Lohan, or even Lady Gaga. Like she's got to show up with me. I don't know. They're just a little too far. Maybe not Lady Gaga.
Right. She's reinvented herself. You were
Yeah, and
admired for how she reinvented herself.
time and time again. I mean, and she really pushed the lines. I feel like
Right.
with a lot of things, but she never became a train wreck. I guess.
Okay. From a man perspective, the only thing I have to say is Channing Tatum.
Why? Oh, because you saw that movie.
OMG. Have you ever seen a piece of man like that?
I haven't seen the movie. I don't think he's a very good actor. I just saw it in something. I was
Who
very
cares?
disappointed.
You don't have to do anything if you look like that.
I didn't see that.
I mean,
movie.
that is just like, do you know who I'm talking about?
I have no clue.
Yeah, what's
Have
that?
you heard about Magic Mike?
No.
It was a movie that just came out, and Channing Tatum Pull him up on the iPhone or something.
We
just
don't
to
have any
show-
connection.
Oh, we have no connection? Google him. And you'll
Handsome
see
man.
handsome man.
Better than
Ve-
that Brad Pitt. more
You know,
handsome.
everybody always goes to Brad Pitt, and it's funny because when I was looking up some things, Brad Pitt kept showing up. And yeah, I mean, that's a good-looking dude, but he's like, but Brad Pitt's getting old.
How about Hugh Jackman?
He beats out Hugh Jackman. My favorite actually is The Rock. I'm a big
The
fan
Rock.
of The Rock. You know what? I like when somebody has a story and they come from nothing and then they become successful. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's kind of got that kind of a story. So
The Rock does?
The Rock, yeah. He was like, his father was a wrestler. Yeah, his father was a wrestler,
He's from
I think.
Hawaii, isn't he?
From Hawaii,
How hard
yes.
could he have had it?
Yeah, right? And I guess he came here, whatever, and, you know, he was, like, really poor for a long time, and then somehow or another he got a big break. And now, you know, look at him. But I don't know. He's
How
a
about a
guy.
female? Who's your favorite female?
I like Ellen, and believe it or not, I like Oprah. Only because, and I don't love Oprah for a lot of things, but it's hard not to like her when you have so much power and you've done so much good in the world. Like, I don't necessarily always agree with everything she does or says, and I know there's controversy that surrounds her, but you can't knock somebody that's always takes what they have and does for the greater good. And so I think that's very admirable.
I like
So
that
I like
choice.
her. Yeah, I think
that's
she's
a
a
good
good
pick.
choice. And believe it or not, I kind of like Barbara Walters. She's been around for a really long time, but she's met a lot of interesting people. She's done a lot of interesting interviews, and I think if I could have my chance to do it all over again, I would love to like have kind of like walked through her shoes. Like, you know, she's been in a lot of presidents' offices and stuff like that, and I think that that's admirable.
She's pretty respectable.
Yeah, she's a pretty respectable lady, you know? I mean, she's still getting on TV, and she's still wearing a nice dress, and she's going to be, like, well in her 80s, right? And Tina Turner. She's another one. She's another one. Now, I'll tell you
I would have
this.
to agree with that.
Yeah, Tina Turner. I went to a Tina Turner concert, and I was in the third row, and I'm a Tina fan. And I became more in love with her at the concert because she was standing there, and she, I think, was 65 at the time. And she had a packed arena, and she's dancing. And next to her were these 23-year-old girls and all these young backup dancers. And you didn't look at them. You looked at her. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you looked at her, and it was like, I don't know, it was amazing. I was like, oh my God. And then she came out on this scaffold, and she's running out on this scaffold, and, you know, you think about all that she's been through in her story and everything else, and here she is, 65, she only took her name, and look at her go. Like, you know, I don't know, to me that was pretty inspiring, so.
She had a hard life, too.
And she had a tough life, yeah, she had a tough life, so she had a hard go at it, but, yeah. So this has been an interesting show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Yes. Oh, good. Good. And did you learn anything about women from the show?
Just to admire you even more.
Oh,
No, it's true. I mean, I do love women, and I didn't know really what to expect.
Right.
So,
We are interesting creatures.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't try to figure us out. Oh,
interesting is...
yeah. And so you had said, and just one last note, you had said that you picked up this book because your wife was reading it and you wanted to find out more about it, whatever. So I have said this before, but a man's Bible is about women is actually in like a Mademoiselle magazine or one of those lady magazines,
Cosmo. Yeah.
a Cosmo. Pick up one of those if you want to learn more about women.
Pick up the Fifty Shades on
and just
Grey.
go through that. And I'm telling you.
I disagree. The way to get to know a woman is to talk to them.
That's very true. Yeah, if you have the courage to do so. Yeah, yeah. But I have picked up a Men's Health magazine and learned a thing or two, too.
Really?
Yeah. I see him sitting there, and I'm like, what do they have to say? Like, you know, it's always good to see the other point of view, which is why we wanted you on our show. So thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you for having me.
Yes. Do you want to close out, Ann, as usual? We'll be back, right?
Yeah. Well, that was our show. Thanks for watching us here at Inravio. And we will be here again on our regular schedule, right? Second
Yes,
Saturday
regular
of the
schedule.
month, next month, which will be February 9th, I think it is.
Yes.
So we will be there. And what is our topic going to be? Do we know?
I don't know. I forgot. I don't know. We'll post it.
We'll post it.
You never know.
Yes.
Just come back and see.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month.